Good afternoon. Today we will study about a pronoun. There is a premise to apply a pronoun in a clause. A pronoun replaces a noun, and the participants in the conversation between the speaker and the listeners need to know what the pronoun indicates. The pronoun replaces. So the speaker indicates a specific object instead of a noun on the premise that the speaker and the listeners recognize what the pronoun indicates. The first sort of pronoun is the personal pronoun. The personal pronoun reveals the role as a participant in the conversation. The speaker and the listeners who are the participants in the conversation need to reveal the role as the participant. But a person or a thing that do not participate in the conversation with the speaker and the listeners do not need to be indicated by the personal. The person or the thing do not have the role in the conversation. So the person or the thing can be indicated by a noun. The personal noun also reveals a role as a subject or an object of a description. Personal noun has the form according to the role as a subject or an object in the clause, which reveals the role. The role as a subject is that the subject starts the relationship between the subject and the object, and the definition of the description by a transitive verb or a preposition to the object. And the personal pronoun reveals the role as an object to get the definition of the transitive verb or the preposition from the subject. And after the object gets the definition of the description, the relationship between the subject and the object. So with the form of the personal noun, we can know that the role as a subject or an object in the clause. To reveal the role as a subject or an object is that a speaker who wants to convey the intention with the interrogative clause or a sentence linked by two clauses rearranges the words, the intention of the speaker. The personal pronoun to reveal the role as a subject or an object keeps signifying that the subject has a role as a subject and the object has the role as an object. In other words, even though the speaker rearranges the subject or the object to convey the specific intentions as an interrogative clause or as a sentence linked more than two clauses, the personal pronoun to indicate the speaker or the listeners reveals the role as a subject or an object in the clause with the different arrangement compared to the declarative statement. The speaker indicates himself as a subject with the personal pronoun I, and the speaker indicates himself as an object with the personal pronoun me. The speaker indicates the people to include himself as a subject with the personal pronoun we. And the speaker indicates the people to include himself as an object with the personal pronoun us. The speaker who is aware that the clause shared in the conversation with the listeners considers that the number of the listeners is plural. So the speaker indicates the listeners as subjects or objects. The same personal pronoun you compared to the personal pronoun to indicate the speaker himself. The personal pronoun you indicates the plural listeners. Because we set the premise that the clause shared within the conversation with the speaker is propagated. We can consider that the range of the propagation is applied to every listener. So, the of a description and of the description, the range of the listeners as the subject, and the range of the listeners as the object are overlapped as the same ones. So, we can understand that the personal pronoun to indicate the listeners as subject and the object is the same. This phenomenon can be understood from the viewpoint that the range of the clause to be propagated extends to every listener. The range of the listeners as the subject and the object of a description is overlapped as the same ones. So the pronoun you to indicate the listeners as subject or objects is the same. We studied about the personal pronoun to indicate the participants in the conversation between the speaker and the listeners. From now on, we will study about the personal pronoun to indicate a subject or an object that does not participate in the conversation between the speaker and the listeners. The speaker indicates a male as a subject with the personal pronoun he, and a female as a subject with the personal pronoun she. The speaker indicates a thing as a subject with the impersonal pronoun it. The speaker indicates a male as an object with the personal pronoun him, and a female as an object with the personal pronoun her. The speaker indicates the thing as an object with the impersonal pronoun it. The thing indicated by the impersonal pronoun it does not participate in the conversation with the speaker and the listeners. The thing indicated by the impersonal pronoun it has the is that the participants in the conversation cannot understand the spontaneity of the thing. So, the thing as a subject or an object indicated by the same impersonal pronoun it. The speaker indicates people or things that do not participate in the conversation with the speaker and the listeners as the subject with the pronoun they. The speaker indicates the people or the things that do not participate in the conversation with the speaker and the listeners as objects with the pronoun them. The impersonal pronoun it indicates a period. For example, there is a clause. It is Sunday. The subjective complement Sunday indicates the same subject with the impersonal pronoun it, which is the subject. So, the impersonal pronoun it indicates a day, which is the same period of time with the subjective complement Sunday. There is a second exemplary clause. It is sunny. The subjective complement sunny to describe how the subject is about the description about weather. The subject indicated by the impersonal pronoun it needs to be a period of time that is able to reveal the weather. There is the third exemplary clause. It is bright. The subjective complement bright describes how the subject is. The subject indicated by the impersonal pronoun it should be a period of time that can reveal the brightness. So the impersonal pronoun it indicates a period of time that is able to reveal the brightness. To the impersonal pronoun it to indicate a period of time, we can remind of the pronoun it to replace the subject in a clause. There is a clause. It takes about 40 minutes to get there. The pronoun it replaces the subject with the to infinitive to get there. The subject is about an action. The third pronoun is the indicative pronoun. The indicative pronoun indicates an object to reveal the number of the object, whether the object participates in the conversation with the speaker, and the distance from the speaker. There are 4 sorts of the indicative this, these, that, and those. Indicative, the different information about the object. The first exemplary clause is this. This is the Eucharist to assign us as the disciples of Jesus Christ. The indicative pronoun this reveals that the object is singular. The object does not participate in the conversation between the speaker and the listeners. And the object is close to the speaker. The second exemplary clause is this. These are altars. The indicative pronoun these reveals that the objects are plural. The objects do not participate in the conversation with the speaker. And the objects are close to the speaker. The third exemplary clause is this. That is the unleavened bread baked within the short period for the Israelites to rush out of Egypt in the period of the Exodus. The indicative pronoun that reveals that the object is singular. The object does not participate in the conversation with the speaker, and the object is far from the speaker. Plus, the noun bread. In the phrase of the noun, the unleavened bread is classified as one of the material nouns because the unit of the object indicated by the material noun bread is not agreed. But in this clause, the indicative pronoun that indicates the object, bread. The indicative pronoun that reveals that the object is singular. The object indicated by the material noun bread is considered as the one. The object indicated by the material noun agreed. The object is considered as one. The number of the object whose unit is not agreed is considered as one. So the material noun bread is indicated by the indicative pronoun that. The fourth exemplary clause is this. Those are apprentices. The indicative pronoun those reveals that the objects are plural. The objects do not participate in the conversation with the speaker, and the objects are far from the speaker. Within the four exemplary clauses, we can know that the indicative pronoun indicates both a person or a thing and people or things. The indicative pronoun to indicate an object with the information about the number of the object, whether the object is a participant in the conversation with the speaker, and the distance from the speaker. The indicative pronoun this, these, that, or those has the trait of a determiner to describe the object. The object indicated by a noun or a pronoun is described by the indicative determiner to be distinguished with the other object. The information about the number, whether the object is a participant or not, and the distance from the speaker. There is an exemplary clause. This afternoon is blessed. The indicative determiner this describes the subject indicated by a noun, afternoon. So we can know that the subject indicated by the noun afternoon is singular, is not a participant within the conversation with the speaker, and is close to the speaker. This is the second exemplary clause. These relationships in Jesus Christ are led to the synergy. The subject indicated by the noun relationships are described by the indicative determiner these. With the description by the indicative determiner these, we can know that the subjects are plural, are not the participants in the conversation with the speaker, and are close to the speaker. This is the third exemplary clause. You can achieve that goal. The object indicated by the noun goal is described by the indicative determiner that. Because of the description by the indicative determiner that, we can know that the object is singular, is not a participant in the conversation with the speaker, and far from the speaker. This is the fourth exemplary clause. Those friends learn from each other. The subjects indicated by the noun friends are described by the indicative determiner those. With the description by the indicative determiner those, we can know that the subjects are plural, are not the participants in the conversation with the speaker, and are far from the speaker. The first sort of pronoun is the possessive pronoun. The possessive pronoun indicates an object belonged to a subject. The possessive pronoun reveals the information about who the subject is. The first example of possessive pronoun is mine. The possessive pronoun mine indicates an object belonged to the speaker. The second example of possessive pronoun is yours. The possessive pronoun yours indicates an object belonged to the speakers. The third example of possessive pronoun is his. The possessive pronoun his indicates an object belonged to a male who is not a participant in the conversation with the speaker. The concept of possession in the possessive pronoun is about the responsibility. A thing which is not a person cannot take the responsibility of another object. So a subject That is that a person is not admitted to possess an object. The fifth sort of pronoun is the reflective pronoun. The reflective pronoun indicates an object that is also a subject of a description by a transitive verb or a preposition. So the definition of the description of a transitive verb or a preposition starts from the subject and comes back to the object. This process can be considered as a reflection. Plus, the reflective pronoun is applied to emphasize the subject or the object. So, the emphasis by the reflective pronoun is after the subject or the object. The first exemplary clause is this: Jesus Christ devoted himself. The subject, Jesus Christ, is the subject of the transitive verb devoted. The subject, Jesus Christ, is also the object of the description by the transitive verb devoted. So, the object of the transitive verb devoted is indicated by the reflective pronoun himself. The second exemplary clause is this: Jesus Christ waits for the time when the remaining disciples miss him and identifies the Holy Spirit of the one by themselves. The subject of the preposition by are indicated by the phrase of noun, the remaining disciples. The object of the preposition by are the same with the subject, indicated by the phrase of noun, the remaining disciples. So, the reflective pronoun themselves indicates of the preposition by. The third exemplary clause to emphasize the subject or an object is this: the solar energy itself operates the cleaning machine. The reflective pronoun itself to indicate the subject of the clause indicated by the phrase of noun, the solar energy. We can know that the reflective pronoun itself indicates the same subject with the subject indicated by the phrase of noun, the solar energy. The effect of the emphasis is revealed with by the reflective pronoun itself to indicate the subject, the solar energy. Thank you for watching.